All right. I think everyone has trickled in. We're going to get started. I just want to
Morning,
start by
morning.
saying Happy New
Thank
Year,
you.
ladies.
Welcome.
It is 2026. How exciting. And I am so proud of you all for being on this call today. I'm so proud of you guys for investing your time, your energy, showing up consistently, and really dedicating your time, energy, and all of you to your health and fitness goals. And I know how much it requires. I know how much you girls are putting in the work, and I just want to acknowledge that I see you, and I'm so fucking proud of you. And so today we are going into 2026 with some clarity and some new discipline. This year is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about rebuilding our self-trust and finally becoming the woman who says and does what she says she's going to do. So, today we are setting the tone for 2026. We are getting clear, we are getting honest, and we are getting excited about what's possible when you stop quitting on yourself. So, type in the chat. I am ready. I'm ready if you girls are ready to take on 2026 and show up as your best possible self and prove to you who you are truly possible of becoming. Miss Daisy, you're so in this. I love it. Okay. So we're gonna be doing some reflecting today. So we can either unmute with these questions or we can type in the chat. But we got a little bit of reflecting today, ladies. So I really want us to get set up mindset wise going into the new year. I know, like, it is just another day, right? But we are a little bit in that fresh start where we get a little bit more umph and we get a little bit more like actioned on what we want to do with this year. And I'm wanting you to think about like this time next year, this time 2027, who do you want to be? Like if you showed up consistently all year, if you put in the work, who could you be a year from now? And
Wow.
so, yeah, what does that look like for you, Miss Pamela?
Scary and exhilarating at the same time.
Oh, what feels scary for you?
Meaning I have to actually do some adulting here and actually for once in my life maybe carry out something and complete it. Not complete it, but carry it through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, how would it make you feel if you were to finally go all in and actually prove to you that you are capable and that you deserve to show up for yourself consistently?
Awesome, and trying not to be full of regret that I could have done it 50 years ago.
Mm.
So anyway, but one day at a time, right?
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, why are you no longer willing to accept that this time next year, that another year would have gone by that you didn't show up as your best version of yourself and that you didn't get to actually discover who she is? Miss Pamela 2.0.
Um, Basically, because I don't have a lot of time left to do
Mm.
what I've been wanting to do all my life. So, um, yeah, basically it's a time thing.
Mm.
And if I don't get at it now, when will I? I mean, every year is a little closer, and I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business in my life.
So what would that look like going into 2027? What would it look like if you were to like call this next year a success in your books?
Oh, that would mean I could check off a lot of boxes on my life list.
Mm.
Oh, good morning. I'm just on the phone. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, so like a lot of the time, like a lot of us are here because we care about our health and our fitness and we would love to see some body composition changes. But at the end of the day, like us showing up for our health and fitness has such a direct impact on every other area in our life. When we show up for our health and fitness, we show up in other areas that are important in our lives. And so health and fitness is really just giving us the freedom to be able to access that life, right?
Exactly. You're right. I wasn't really being very specific at all. So,
That's okay. That's okay.
yes, I mean, as long I just, I, this may sound not very nice, but um, I kind of refer to other people for examples. Like, is this what I want or how I want to be? Or is this how I not want to be? And um, I think one is as equally as important as the other. Because you look at people who are in similar, maybe physical circumstances, and I think I don't really want to, I want more than that.
Mm.
Does that make sense? I want to be able to be more fulfilled. I want to give back more. I want
Thousand, a
to
thousand
clean up
percent.
my house so I don't knock things over.
I think that's something that I actually hear a lot on my discovery calls with clients is we have that image of someone, maybe it's a family member, maybe it's our mom or an aunt, or we have like typically a vision of someone that we really don't want to become like. And then we see that in our family lineage and we go, okay, like if I don't take care of myself, I could end up like that person, right? Or you might
Right.
have a family member or someone that you know that's in really great shape that you're like, wow, like if I actually showed up consistently and took care of myself, like I could live like them. And so I think it's a very normal experience to look at those around you and be able to pick and choose which values you're going to take on for yourself and what you feel is going to be most beneficial for your life and your future and what you want for yourself, right?
Right. Exactly. And I guess one of my closest examples is my mom who lived to be 100,
Oh,
but she,
wow.
yeah, she's good. So I come from some good genes for that, but she didn't um she didn't really appreciate what she had. And I don't know how she lived to be 100, to be honest with you, because she didn't take care of herself at all. So every once in a while when I kind of relapse, I think, well, it's okay. My mother got through it. And look at her, I
Yeah,
know that's
having
kind
some
of
of that
weird.
that grace in that moment, right?
Yeah,
And that we don't have
exactly.
to be perfect our entire life, right? We're going to slip up. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I see with our coaching and like with the ladies in the community is that oftentimes we might fall off for a period of time and feel like, oh, I'm such a failure. Like, what's the point of even continuing? Have I just missed a couple of weeks or what have you? I fell off track of this or that. And then people go into that all or nothing mindset and then they throw in the towel, they ghost, and then they don't get to progress along their fitness journey, right? Versus the
Yeah,
ones that are able to identify when they're struggling and being able to reach out for that help and communicate is going to be the game changer to being able to switch the trajectory, being able to recognize it and set yourself up for success.
exactly. That is actually perfectly put. Much better. I'm just not as good as putting things as you are.
No, it's all good. You did great. You did great. I appreciate you sharing with us all. I know Miss Grace popped in here. Hello, Miss Grace. Are you in Alberta or are you still in Saskatchewan? You can unmute or type in the chat if you'd like. Miss Heather, she's looking to get strong mentally and physically. I love that. I absolutely adore that. Ooh, Grace is back now. Just multitasking, so I can't unmute right now. No worries at all. Again, today is a little bit more of an interactive live where I'll be asking you guys some questions. So if you want to unmute and respond, or if you want to type in the chat, or you can even reflect on some of these questions in the replay as well. So we kind of just went over what we're trying to envision for the year of 2026 and who we want to become. And Miss Pamela was so courageous to hop on and share with us all what this year is going to be looking like for her. And so, some of our clarity questions are, what do you want to feel more of this year? What does that look like for you? Do we want to feel strong? Do we want to feel confident? Do we want to feel brave? Where's my oop, disappeared. There we go. Do we want to feel energized, in control? I like that. I like that. What are some ways that we want to feel in 2026? Energized and hot. Let's go, Grace. Yes, I love it. I love it. Proud. Ooh, I like that, Miss Chantal. Proud. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna take that one too. I like proud. Yeah. Imagine this time next year, you felt so proud of how you showed up. You've changed years, if not decades, of habits that no longer work for you. You've chosen differently. You've chosen more mindfully. You've chosen yourself for once. I know us ladies, we tend to be people pleasers. We tend to show up for everyone else before ourselves. We tend to self abandon for those that we care about. And this year, I am strongly encouraging you to start changing those patterns. And it's not to say that you're not going to show up for those around you. It's not to say that you're not going to prioritize those around you, but I can promise you the moment that you start to show up for yourself first, consistently, relentlessly, with setting really strong boundaries to protect your peace and yourself, that you will be able to show up tenfold for those around you. But if we continue to pour from an empty cup, if we continue to put our goals on the back burner, if we keep saying that we're going to do it tomorrow, if we keep negotiating with ourselves, if we say we're going to do something at a specific time and then we don't do it, that chips away at our self-trust, that chips away at our self-confidence, that chips away from our self-efficacy. And it makes it incredibly hard for you to trust yourself, to set goals for yourself, and actually believe that you're going to set it up for yourself, right? Like we are talking about a little bit earlier with Miss Pamela and being like, well, like I've never done it before, right? I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that feels like. A lot of us don't. A lot of us spend an entire lifetime not knowing what it would actually feel like to go all in on ourselves. And I know a year can feel like a really long time of being like, holy shit, that's a long time of me choosing myself. That's a lot of discipline. That's a lot of work. And so I encourage you to like lessen it and think about, okay, imagine if I went all in for a month. Okay, that might still feel a little bit daunting. Imagine if I went all in for a week. Okay, bring it back. A little less daunting. Imagine if I just went all in today. Imagine if I just went all in today and I showed up for myself and my goals today. And if you take on that mindset, instead of thinking about like a year from now or thinking about the end goal, if you just think about today and how you can show up and what you have control over and how you can set yourself up for success for that future version of yourself every single day, 1 year from now, you are going to be an entirely different person. So, our next prompt is, what does success actually look like for you in 2026? You can either type it in the chat or you can unmute. What does success actually look like for you in 2026? Grab my water while you guys answer that. Oh, I missed Heather's comment earlier. Energized and motivated. How about we switch motivated to disciplined? Because motivation is always fleeing, right? Well, I guess it'd be nice to feel motivated all the time, but if we change that to discipline, someone that is disciplined will show up regardless of you feeling motivated. And I think that will set you up for further success mindset wise when it comes to those more difficult days when we're not quite feeling motivated. Grace, good question. I don't know yet. Oh, Hmm. Uh, Miss Pamela, retirement. Time to pursue my passions. We love that. Miss Heather, getting all my workouts in and refocusing my eating. I love it. I love it. If this year went exactly how you wanted, what would be different about your daily life? If this year went exactly how you wanted it to, what would be different in your day-to-day life?
Oh, wow.
No more excuses. I like that. Less scrambling and stress, more rest. I like that. I'm curious, Grace, how can you set yourself up for success when it comes to feeling less scrambled and less stress and prioritizing more rest right now? What areas are you currently spending time in which is taken away from you resting, but not conducive to you feeling less scrambled or stressed? What about you, Miss Pamela?
What was the question again?
If this year went exactly
Oh,
how you wanted it to, what would be
I'm with
different?
I'm with Grace. Be a lot less scrambling and success. I can't think of a better way to put it.
Okay, and so same question goes to you. Where do you feel like you're spending time that's taken away from you being able to feel less scrambled and stressed?
Um, Doom scrolling,
Hmm.
which I've mentioned before, so I'm
Yeah.
working on that. And not having my life and my house in order, so I'm wasting too much time doing stuff that shouldn't be there. Um, yeah, I just need to clean up my act.
Mm. And so, what boundaries would you need to set in place today in order for you to start taking some of that time that we're spending doom scrolling towards actually working towards the home and our organization?
Um, limit my time, of course, limit my online
How much
time.
time? How much time are we gonna like take away right now that we're going to like set aside a time and be like, okay, we're not scrolling for this period of time. We're gonna delay it maybe, or maybe we're gonna stop it earlier and then we'll replace that with doing something conducive towards what you
Ah,
want from this year.
I never thought of that way. I was thinking of more or less like putting a limit, saying, okay, I can only do an hour of this a day, as opposed to saying, okay, between these hours and these hours. I like yours better.
Yeah, like
Okay.
whatever works for you, right?
Yes. Okay. I like that.
Perfect. So your homework after today's call is going to be picking what that looks like for you and then go post it in the group for you to share that commitment and let us keep you accountable along the way so that we can all do this together and set our intention going into 2026.
Okay.
All right, on to our identity-based prompts, ladies. So, who do you need to become in order to reach your goals this year? Who do you need to become in order to reach your goals? Great. It's my problem. I never feel like I'm not, like I'm actually wasting time. I don't procrastinate. I just feel like there's not enough. How has the morning snoozing been going? How have we been with morning snooze? Where do we feel like maybe we're spending more time in the evenings that we could be sleeping and getting up earlier in the mornings to feel less scrambled. What areas are feeling stressful and scrambled, and how can we rearrange? Thank goodness we got all the dogs coming up here. And rearrange so that you feel like you have control over your day, that it doesn't feel so scrambled. Like, let's identify for you, Grace. I'd like you to write out like your perfect day. Because sometimes, like, there's quite literally not enough hours in the day to do all the things that we want to do. Maybe some days we have more hours that we can focus in on other things. So I think for you, it's really sitting down. I would do like a Google Calendar sheet and actually block your times to see how much time everything takes. And then be able to put what is important to you, put your priorities in there, put them at times that you would like them at, and be able to manage your day so you can see it on there. And it might not actually work. Like, what you might be trying to achieve might not physically work for you at this time, and we might need to rearrange things or whatever, right? So that would be your homework for this year. Yeah, well, today specifically. I barely get 7 hours, though I know how people do everything they have to and can still sleep. I write out my perfect day, and yeah, it just doesn't fit. It's the rearranging that makes me stressed, I think. So, I think, yeah, I have to do a lot. Totally fair. And so I totally hear you on that. And I think doing, instead of just a day, doing your week ahead so that you can see, like, obviously, like, there's going to be things that you can't move. Like, the hours that you work is going to be like a structured block that you can't move around versus like our gym time can be something that we're a little bit more flexible with. I do that too. Hate to say it. Okay. And so let's reflect on that because there's obviously some areas that are not working for you right now. And there's maybe some time that we have blocked off that is not being 100% focused work on those things, or maybe we're a little bit distracted where some things could have taken less time, but because we're multitasking or doing something else, that it's going to take longer and then taken away from other times. So I definitely love to chat a little bit more with you so that we can help set you up for success with a calendar that's going to work for you. Yeah, because like when I actually reflected, like if you actually like I would start just tracking your day to day. Like you can have a vision as to what that looks like, but then you can move that around. So just like at the end of your day or throughout your day, like move things around as they fit. So like let's say I had today's call scheduled till 11:30, and then let's say it goes to 12. Well, then I would just go into my Google Calendar, stretch that back out to 12, and then whatever I had booked at 11:30, then I would move it over to 12:30 or whatever, right? So being able to manage that, and then next Sunday, so you got the whole week to kind of review how your time management goes. And then next Sunday, look at the week, see where we might have wasted some time, see where we can tighten things up, see how we can move things around to help set ourselves up with an actual game plan for the following week. Does that sound good? Sweet. Okay. So I want you to send me a screenshot of your Google Calendar as well so that we can get crystal clear with that. Miss Chantel, better stress management would be good for me. You're welcome, Grace. Better stress management. So, what does that look like for you during this time, Miss Chantal? In terms of better stress management, like where are we finding ourselves getting stressed? Where do we find ourselves getting triggered? Are we unmuting?
Yeah, I'm parked now, so
Perfect.
I'm just thinking like stress, like it's mostly outside stress, like other people, other family members, work stress, that I allow to affect me and maybe like interfere with my goals or my plans or my things that I want to do that day. I just kind of let it derail me a little bit, and I need to find a better way to just say no or put other people's shit on the back burner and focus more on myself.
So where do you find that that's coming up the most for you right now? And like how are you responding? So like give me an example of like how that's actually impacting, like let's say you getting a workout in or your meal prep, or like what area is getting impacted?
Well, I just find like sometimes when other people's stuff comes up. Like I have children, some of them, the youngest ones has like some behavior stuff, and I don't know, I sometimes allow other people's moods or behaviors affect my own. And then I feel like, I don't feel like going to the gym anymore because you piss me off, or I
Mm.
don't really like it. I allow it to change how I feel. And I'm trying to find tricks to just be like, okay, like I still need to focus on me and what I'm doing. And I don't want to allow, you know, this one's bad behavior or this one's whatever it is to interfere what I need to accomplish or want to accomplish. I don't know if that makes sense, but I
Yeah,
find that other people's shit gets in the way of me accomplishing my own stuff. So I don't
I
know if
think
it's a priority. I need to set like a priority, like, okay, despite what's going on with you right now, this is what I need to do for me.
I think one thing is to
More,
like recognize that like you're an empath. So you feel what just happened? Did I just zoom in? Okay. What's happened? Okay. Um, one thing is that you're an empath, right? So you feel everyone's emotions and shifts very strongly. And that can come down to like a survival mechanism as well for us to be able to adapt around people around us if they can be unpredictable or they're explosive or etc., right? And so one thing is to acknowledge that like it's very normal and it's your body functioning properly right now and you're just like being able to feel how other people are. Now the boundary that's lacking is yes, you not allowing it to impact how you feel, right? And I think it's really awesome that we're recognizing that we are getting impacted. The second and the hardest part is now having to choose differently. It's starting to set that
right,
boundary with ourselves that, yeah, you know what? I can get pissed off and also like I'm still gonna show up for myself. And then eventually it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to take on other people's emotions, which is gonna be harder said than done. So that's why I want us to focus on the discipline part first of just showing up, even if we feel like we don't want to, even if we do feel pissed off. And like if we are pissed off, use it like use that for fuel in the workout, right? Um, I always find that super helpful, even if I don't feel like it, then I'll just kind of use those harder emotions into fueling what I want to do and showing up for myself. But again, like you drinking the poison isn't going to help the situation, right?
right. So I'm just looking to find ways to look at the situation and be like, okay, this situation's still going to be here whether I take an hour and go to the gym or not.
Yeah,
So I may as well go. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Or find ways to just let it more like bounce off of me instead of like
Hmm.
letting it affect me and my mood. So it's just something that I'm working on, especially
Hmm.
going into this new year. So
And that might be using some different tools like we've discussed, and that's going to take some exploration as well as to like what self-regulation is going to look like for you, right? What are
mhm,
going to be some quick ways that you can shift the way that you're feeling and shift your mood, whether that's like cuddling the animals and getting a bunch of kisses, or like, maybe it's calling a friend, maybe it's venting. Like, there's depending on the mood and what you're feeling, there can be so many different ways to express that, right? Or different ways to just like move the body. Maybe it's just like taking a deep breath in and just like dropping your shoulders aggressively and sighing it out a few times. Like there can be some different ways that you can try to navigate different feelings, but I think like yes, number one is going to be focusing on just setting the boundary with yourself that even I'm going to do the thing that I said I'm going to do, even if life throws obstacles at me, even if I'm feeling frustrated, pissed off, sad, whatever, like I'm not going to allow other people's day to impact my day, right? Like today is the
right.
best day ever. And I want you to go into every single day going, today is the best day ever, and look for evidence as to why today is the best day ever. And if today's the best day ever, do you think like our kids having a bad day and pissing us off is going to impact the best day ever? Probably not.
Nope.
Nope. We're gonna be like, okay, whatever, have your little tantrum. Like that's you. I'm having the best day ever over here, right? And so trying to shift that and just not allowing other people to impact because like our energy is so precious And we don't want to be giving that out so sparingly. We want to hold on to that and protect our peace at the end of the day. And again, easier said than done, but that's what we're going to be focusing on going into this new year.
Yes, definitely.
I love it. I love it. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did I miss any comments in the chat? I don't think so. Okay, so what are we going into next year? So, oh yeah, so, identity-based prompts. So we are going into the next prompt, which is going to be who I need to become in order to reach my goals this year. Who do I need to become? How do I need to show up? What habits does your best self practice consistently? What habits does your best self practice consistently? I want to either hear it or see it in the chat. Give me a good 3 to 5 habits that you need to be practicing consistently this year. And that could be either the habits I have set out for you, or it could be some life habits, healthy eating habits. What does that look like for you specifically, Grace? What are we committed to doing this year in order to set ourselves up for success when it comes to improving our eating habits? Is that reducing our takeout? Is that creating a boundary with ourselves that we don't get takeout? Maybe we only get takeout on a specific day. Is that creating a boundary that we're going to be more mindful with the decisions that we get with takeout and that we're going to go for whatever? Like, what does that look like for you? Heather, become more selfish? Yes, yes, yes. I love going into defining 2026. The defining word is selfish. I want you all to become incredibly selfish. And I know how uncomfortable that is because y'all are all incredible ladies that are so selfless and put everyone else above you. But people pleasing can also be a selfish act. And so I want you to start pleasing others without putting them on the pedestal first. I want you to be number one so that you can start to actually show up as your own best friend. Putting myself first, not making habits from others' feelings, not making habits from others' feelings. I love that, Miss Heather. Miss Chantal, eating healthy, drinking water, sleep, and stress reduction. Finding maybe this year a list of tools for you, Miss Chantal, a list of tools for your stress reduction, which is going to happen over time as you try different things. Great. Staying consistent with calories. Last year, many days, I didn't even eat half of what I needed to. Not this year. Nope. This year, we are fueling our bodies. Heck yes. I love that. Heather, if others are feeling down, still allowing me to rise up. Yeah, like it's really hard to be around other people when they're feeling down and not taking some of that on for yourself, or like it can feel really uncomfortable being super happy and feeling good when someone else is feeling down, right? But I also want to encourage you because, like, again, that energy is so precious and you get to choose how you spend it. You get to choose how you get to spend this precious short period of time here. And just because someone else is having a bad day, it does not mean that you have to have a bad day. And sometimes, like, you just focusing in your own lane and focusing on yourself and making sure that you're good can also have a ripple effect into those around us. And if you're not giving into that, that can actually really help not expedite or fuel the fire, so to speak, right? And so that you can really focus on you feel good, and thus other people are going to pick up on your energy, just like you're picking up on their energy, right? Start to rebuttal it with good energy. And they might have a hard time being in a bad mood if you're just feeling super good, right? So just food for thought. And if you try that out this year, I'd love to hear how it goes. Next prompt. What would it look like to trust yourself again? What would it look like to trust yourself again? Grace. Or just trust yourself for once, maybe. That's, totally fair. That's fair. Um,
What
Get
was
up
the
no
question
later.
again? Sorry.
The question was, uh, what would you need to do in order to trust yourself again? What would it look like for you to trust yourself again? Or just plainly trust yourself, where you know that, like, if you say you're going to do something, like you just said, getting up no later than 7 a.m., what would it look like for you to trust that you are not getting up any later than 7 a.m. this year?
Hmm. I'd start the day more relaxed,
Mm.
without stress, or with a lot less stress.
That sounds like a pretty big win, if you ask me.
I think so, and it sounds so easy to do.
It's a sacrifice, though.
Mm-hmm.
But that discipline is going to give you something much larger than I'm sure that extra 30, 60 minutes laying in bed does.
Yeah.
Grace says, I think it would feel very secure. Yes. Yes. Like imagine the opportunities that will be available to you a year from now if you trusted yourself. Maybe it's a business that you wanted to start, but you don't trust yourself to actually do the work. Maybe it's a race that you want to sign up for, but again, you don't trust yourself to put in the work. Like, what kind of opportunities would be possible for you a year from now if you actually did all the things that you said you were going to do? If you showed up consistently and relentlessly and just gave yourself this year, right? Like we'd mentioned, again, like I don't know what it feels like to trust myself because I've never done it consistently. What would it look like today? What would that look like tomorrow? Start getting really micro focused in on your day to day and how you can show up. And with those repetitions day in and day out, a year from now, your life is going to be in a totally different place. How do you want to feel? How do you want your body and your mind to feel? Not just look. We can we can have a little vision on like body composition too, but like how do you want to feel in this body? Strong. Like if I were to think back 3 years ago, I went on my first ice climbing trip and it was absolutely terrifying. And I remember being on the wall, my forearms were burning, my grip was failing. I felt so weak, I felt so burnt out, and I was shaking. I could not stop shaking because I was so anxious. Versus this year, 3 years later, I've not ice climbed in 3 years, but I felt so confident going into it. I felt strong with my technique. I knew that my forearms weren't going to gas out because I knew how to use my leg drive this time around. But I hadn't practiced it in terms of like ice climbing, right? I hadn't been on ice in a year, but because I've put in the work in other areas, because I've gone bouldering, because I've gone rock climbing, because I've shown up to the gym, because I fueled my body, because I knew how to properly set myself up, what to bring, all these things, like I went into it with so much confidence and I had such a great time versus my first time around felt a little anxiety inducing. It bruised my ego a little bit. I was like, "Ooh, that was much harder than I thought." This time around, I was like, "That was so much fun. It was so easy." And that comes from rebuilding that trust with yourself, and that's bringing the focus into how do you want your body to feel. I came out here wanting to feel strong so that I could go do these things. I want to be able to build my endurance so I can go hike some crazy mountains, right? Like that's going to feel so cool when I can challenge myself and do things that once used to feel really hard. Maybe a local hike that I once did that was super difficult that I can do now that's going to feel easy. So yes, we got body composition goals, and I don't want to discourage. Like that is awesome, and I love that we have like physique goals. I've got physique goals. I love it, but I also want us to think of like what does that body give you? What freedom does that body give you?
Oh no, the diarrhea, feeling gonna throw up.
Healthy, confident, strong, pain-free. Yes, energized and proud. Energized, focused, healthy, peaceful. I love it. I love it. Um, I'm curious. What negative self-belief do you need to release before you can move forward? What negative self-belief do you need to put in place? Or sorry, that you need you need to release, sorry, before you move forward. What's stopping you from becoming this version of yourself? What's stopping you from being the person that you can trust to show up for yourself? What belief is coming up? Maybe it's like, oh, well, I've never done it before, so why start now, right? And challenging that too. I might have not done it before, but now I've got the tools and the support necessary to get me there. I want you to challenge it. I need to stop comparing myself. Hmm. What does that look like for you, Grace? Is that comparing yourself to others? Is it comparing yourself to an older version of you? Is it comparing yourself to a future version of you? What does that look like? I'll do it later. Later never comes, right?
Right.
So like
Exactly.
it's like we said with like a year from now, where do we want to be? But it's like, okay, what do you need to do today to become that person? What
Well,
needs to be done?
that's what the belief is. I have to stop believing that I can do it later.
And the thing is look at evidence. How many
Hmm.
times do you say, I'm going to do it later, and you don't do it? Is it a cop out that you know you're giving yourself in that moment, going, oh yeah, I'll just do it later, and you half-ass trust it so that you can get away with what you're doing in that moment and not having to change your behavior, only to know that there's probably a high chance that you're not actually going to do it later when you say you're going to.
Exactly. That's absolutely true. It's a cop out.
And like, I've caught myself doing it too. Like, yeah, I'll just do it later. And then what happened was I actually started taking myself seriously. And I'm like, all right, we'll play ball. If you want to say I'll do it later, you're going to pay the consequence of doing it later. And then I actually started, whoop, thanks, Finn. I actually started doing the things that I said I was going to do later. And what did that look like? That looked like working out at 9 p.m. at night.
Oh, and I hate it. I hate that.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does.
And and so that's why I'll do it later doesn't set you up for success because now we've got a negative association with going in. Now this sucks. I would rather be in bed watching Netflix, maybe reading a book. Maybe I could be cuddling my dogs, but no, because I said I'll do it later, now I'm stuck going to the gym at 9 p.m. That sucks.
Yes.
Or I don't go and then
Which
it doesn't
sucks more.
happen. Yeah, that sucks even more because now I just wasted a day that I could have gotten stronger. Damn, I don't get that many of those. Should probably take advantage of that.
Hmm.
There's someone spending 24 hours of their day stuck in a hospital bed, wishing that they could change places with you right now, wishing that they could move their body, wishing that they could challenge their body, but instead they can't move it. And we need to start to reshift our focus sometimes because oftentimes we're like, oh, I have to. No, you get to. This is a luxury. Not everyone gets this opportunity. Not everyone gets the opportunity to work with a coach either, right?
That's
Like,
right.
we're all here paying to be here. You are in a financial position that you have the freedom to invest in a program to help you reach your goals. And it would be silly for us to waste any of those days not doing the things that we are showing up and saying that we're going to do when we made that commitment. And I get it. I understand that the days get hard and the weeks get hard and we get removed from our overall why. And it gets easy to become complacent. It gets easy to procrastinate. It gets easy to say I'll do it tomorrow, but that's arrogance because you are not promised tomorrow. We keep thinking that we are because, our life has shown that every day we wake up the next day so far. But again, like you don't know. And it is arrogant to push your goals off to tomorrow or next week or next month because you're not promised that. You get today. And we need to start focusing on what we can do today, not later, but right now. How can we show up? What can I do in this moment? How can I push myself to becoming the best possible version of myself? And that might not always look like 100%. That might be only 5%, 10% on those harder days. But the moment that we start to become that person and we start to challenge that, I'm telling you, like, it is going to reshift everything. And so I'm curious, where are you currently self-sabotaging? Why are you self-sabotaging? And what do you need to start saying no to this year? Where do you tend to self-sabotage? Why are you self-sabotaging? What does it give you? Because we don't do it because we like it feels like shit. It does afterwards, but in the moment, it's giving us something. Whether it's a distraction, whether it's numbing, whether it's dopamine, like it's giving us something. And what is it that we're going to start saying no to this year? What are we no longer willing to put up with? What are we no longer willing to accept with becoming and walking into this version? So, like, I want you to picture that version of yourself, that 2.0 version of yourself, and I want you to start deciding to show up as her today. I want your actions to start aligning with that version of yourself. And will that be perfect? No. But I want every day, reset that version. What would you need to do today in order to be that person 1 year from now?
Oh boy.
I know it's a tough one.
Mm.
Grace, others, especially on social media, which I never really had an issue with until recently. So, first of all, I want to remind every single one of you that AI, incredible feature. Okay. I can make like it's actually scary to think about the amount of coaches that are going to be uploading before and after photos of their own clients that are not real because AI does it so well. And there's going to be fake transformations, there's going to be fake coaches with fake body pictures. Like you cannot trust everything that you're seeing on the internet, for one. For two, a lot of these coaches are lying to you. Like the amount of coaches that have been caught getting a BBL and promote a booty growth program, but yet theirs isn't even real, is absurdly disgusting in the community. That like you are seeing things that are not real. The amount of like post editing on even a video where they're making their body composition look vastly different than what it actually is appalling. So number one is like, yes, no worries, Heather. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, the number one thing is going to be don't trust everything you see on the internet because A, most of it not real. Most of it is not real. Second of all, think about even taking your own like progress photo where like one you're flexing and one you're not. Vastly different. So a lot of these photos that are being posted are going to be a photo of someone flexing where they're going to have their best angles and the best lighting. But when they unflex it in the day to day, they look like any other normal human being, right? So we got to stop idealizing these people's bodies because a lot of it is not real and is portrayed to look a certain way so that you feel exactly how you're feeling. And so it's not wrong of you to be feeling that way, but we also need to protect your peace, right? And we need to reshift that for yourself. So one thing that I do, I've noticed if I find specific Instagram accounts to be triggering me in such a way where I'm like, oh, like comparing myself or it doesn't make me feel good, etc., unfollow. Like you get to choose what you see on your feed. And if there's another point, like a few months from now, where you feel like you can follow them and it's not going to impact you in a negative way, sure, go for it. But like if right now, every time you see them on your profile, you feel shitty about yourself, unfollow them. Like that is the most powerful thing that you can do to take back control so that you are not getting triggered on a day-to-day on something that is going to not positively impact you. Follow accounts that are going to inspire you, that make you feel good, that make you feel aligned, than the ones that are going to make you feel that comparison game. But the next thing is like, of course, like we want to work on that habit of comparison too. Like, A, none of it's real. 99% of it is not actually real. Okay. Next thing is like, let's work on the mindset of like, let's focus on grace. And like, I even changed my, I changed my background photo. I had some like big bodybuilder, whatever girl as my background. I was like, okay, I am an athlete was my affirmation. Her body type, I was like, that'd be wicked, have abs like her, whatever. And I'm like, but that's not realistic for my body, right? Like, she's got different genetics, she's got different frames. Like, I'm not ever going to actually look like that. So, what I did was my AI version of my body, and then I added 10 pounds, and then I put myself at like 10% body fat or whatever the trend was, just for fun. But then I replaced my background as that photo, and even though it's unrealistic because it's still AI, at least it's a little bit more aligned with seeing my own body and visualizing that as like the goal and perfection of seeing myself. So that the more I see myself, the more I see me in that photo, and the more I'm going to look at me in evidence of that photo, if that makes sense. So it's going to trigger my reticular activating system, where it's like, if I'm looking at myself, I'm going to start to look at myself for evidence of that being true. And I'm going to start to behave in such a way, I'm going to start to show up in such a way, etc. I hope you feel better, Miss Heather. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Grace, thank you. Preach. I don't know why I feel bad on following. Like, I know they won't notice, and I like the background idea. You can also mute the account too. That's another option. Like, let's say a friend, you follow a friend, and you don't want to unfollow them because you don't want to like offend them or whatever. Like, you can mute the account, which is what someone taught me a few months ago. And I was like, what? You can mute? She's like, I have like everyone muted. She's like, I follow all my friends, and I don't want to see any of their stuff, right? And so yes, there's some I know that I compare to. Oops. No, and that's normal. It's human. Like, there's no judgment there. Like, that is a human behavior. We are set up in that manner. Like, we are always looking around us. Like, we are talking with Miss Pamela and like looking at family members and going, okay, like, this is the type of person that I don't want to become. I don't like their habits. I don't like how they're showing up. They're not a happy person, XYZ. Like, we're looking at other people's behaviors and picking and choosing how we want to show up in the world. Like, this is our first time living too, right? Like, we're still learning and navigating this thing called life. And so we are going to look at those around us and go, okay, who's been successful? Who's got what I would like, right? And then you're going to start to look at their actions and how they show up so that you can start to set yourself up for success versus if you're surrounding yourself and looking at people who don't want what you want, then you're not going to be able to move in that direction. It's the same thing as like not taking relationship advice from someone that's in a relationship that you wouldn't choose for yourself because everyone's going to have a different perception. And so we're always looking around us to pick and choose, right? And so you're looking at these people to improve yourself. But again, if we're just looking at the physical aspects, then it can become a little degrading. We're only seeing our worth in our body composition, which is not factual at all. So I'd like us to start looking at people's characteristics that you envy, that you would like to start portraying. Is that these people go on a lot of adventures? Is it that they're a gym girly? Is it that they have like a specific identity that you seek? And that I think would be a better reshift of looking at the identity that you're seeking for yourself versus just comparing the body composition, if that makes sense. Amazing. All right, ladies. So
Oh,
oh,
I'm just typing out a couple questions
of
for
course,
you.
go for it. You can
Okay.
ask. Go for it.
Okay, well, the first one is what is ideal body fat? It doesn't seem to me that, like, it seems too simplistic to me that you can just use your weight against your height because everybody has different, sizes of bones and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for that, like you would want like a specific machine that you have at like a gym, which we wouldn't have accessible in Ashcroft.
Right.
But like a healthy range, you're everyone's gonna be a little bit different, right? But like essentially for oh, there's your message there.
That's the other question. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So like you need for women minimum 10 to 13 to like function. So like men can go below that, women no lower than 10. An athletic performance you're looking at like 15 to 20%. For a healthy range you're looking at 20 to 30%.
Okay, so
Anything over
20% is
30%
yeah.
body fat more, then we're going a little bit more into wanting to bring that down into like the 20, 30 range. And then athletic, you're going down to like 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it said when I do the weight and the weight and height thing, I think it was 27 or 28, I think. And it said, yeah, you're bordering
But
on
it's not
obese or
taking
whatever.
in your muscle composition, right? It's not
Yeah,
taking in different people's like bone density, right? It's
that's
like
right.
it's not taking in how hydrated you like there's so many different factors that are going to play into that. And so, yeah, I wouldn't stress so much on that and
Okay.
yeah.
So if I'm somewhere around 20, that's
Yeah,
great.
great.
Okay. And then the other
Yeah.
question was, I've seen so many ads on this Tai Chi walking. Not that I expect doing something for 7 minutes a day will give you the results they're saying, but is there some extra benefit to this Tai Chi walking? Or do you
I
know anything about it?
haven't I haven't done any Tai Chi myself personally. I have a
Hmm.
friend who like absolutely adores Tai Chi and like lives and swears by it. Um Again, like I think the biggest thing is finding movement that you enjoy, right? And if it's like it is a really great movement to connect mind to muscular and breath, right? And it's just bringing some presence and some awareness and it can be looked at as even a meditative practice where you're just like getting in tune with your body and your breath and moving like right. So, I mean, try it out and see if you like it. And if it gives you some benefits outside of that, awesome. But if you just enjoy doing it and implementing it, then why not? It's just extra movement.
Well, it seemed to me that 7 minutes wasn't very much time.
7 minutes
And
is better than 0 minutes.
that exactly. And I thought, so that it's not gonna like impact the whole day or anything like that. Like as far as like, oh my God, I spent all that time doing the Tai Chi, but they keep saying Tai Chi walking, not just Tai Chi
Hmm.
walking, like it's something specific. And I've watched one video, but I haven't watched too many. But it looked to me like it might concentrate um, on balance, and that's something
Yeah.
that I could certainly do with extra help in.
1,000%, a thousand
Yeah,
percent. And again, like I want you to ditch that all or nothing mindset
yeah,
because 7 minutes every single day over a span of a month, over a year, like it adds up. And
exactly.
you
Hmm.
never know how that's going to ripple effect. Maybe one day you do 7 minutes and you're like, you know what? I want to do 10 today. And then maybe you're doing like maybe you increase that because you just enjoy it. So who knows what that propels for you? But I always encourage trying different movements and new movements and seeing how you like them. Like movement is the best medicine, and there's no amount of time that is going to take away from that, whether it's bringing you just a mental boost, whether it's bringing you a physical boost. Like, make the time to do things that you enjoy that are moving your body and getting outside even better, right?
Hmm. Okay, thank you.
Of course, of course. Was there another question there?
Nope, that was the
Okay,
two.
okay. Chantal or Grace, do we have any questions as well before we wrap her on up here? I don't. Thank you. You're very welcome. Nope. Perfect. Perfect. So, anchoring, ending today's call, going our first call for 2026. I want to finish this off with saying, if I stopped quitting on myself, what becomes possible this year? If I stop quitting on myself, what becomes possible this year? Which has been a big theme today, right? Of like how we've lost self-trust, how we haven't shown up for ourselves in the past, feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed. But if you actually set yourself up for success this year, you stop quitting on yourself, you stopped with the all or nothing mindset, you went all in consistently, what becomes possible this year? Who do you become at the end of this year? On that note, ladies, did we get value from today's call? Let me know in the chat. Did we get value from today's call?
Absolutely.
We love it. We love it. So I love to integrate some styles like this where it gives us a little bit more time to like actually interact and have these conversations and be able to challenge things and create an action plan, right? Like it's nice when I can put together a masterclass and like kind of talk to you guys and teach you something, but I also love to integrate some of these interactive type styles. So I love to see showing up and being present and being able to interact. So I thank you all so much for taking some time out of your precious weekends and Sundays, spending it with me today. And all that I ask from you is after this call to go post your biggest takeaway in the group so all of the other ladies know to watch the replay so that they can get value from today's call. Does that sound good?
Yes, it does.
Amazing, ladies. Thank you all so very much for giving me your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sundays. And don't forget, progress photos, weekly check-in forums by the end of today. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful Sundays, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon.
Okay.
Peace.
Thank you, Lucy.
You're welcome.